the most fun going live with, or not live. I was being interviewed on Brandy Yates's podcast, and I love Brandy. You guys know I talk about her every single day. She is a master at human design, but yeah, so I'm feeling like super giggly and excited after I just got done talking with her. But today we're going to be doing mini readings for the gene keys. So anything that you hear today, understand that like whether you have this gene key or not, or whether you have this profile line or not, if you feel it like a drum in your system, like a lightning bolt to your system. I'm such a big believer that when we know the truth, when we hear the truth, we know it. Whenever we hear the truth, we know it. And you just feel it throughout your system. So as you listen to other people get readings today, know that like there are little pieces of gold, there are little pieces of wisdom for you in there as well. So I'll get through as many as I possibly can because like I said, I don't do these little mini readings that often anymore. But these are going to be a little bit more concise, more to the point, just what I feel is very, very potent in your chart that I will bring forward. And there we go. Okay, so let me answer Nicole. Purpose, vocation, and life's work. They all sound like purpose to me. Can you share some differences? Okay, I love this. And honestly, for me, I blend them all together because those are the three that I really think, and I was actually talking about this on Brandy's podcast today. Do you know, like in the 80s cartoons, whenever there would be like this group of like crime fighters or superheroes, and they would all come together to build like a robot? Like in the cartoons, like all of them would come together to be like the leg of the robot, the arm of the robot, the head of the robot. I literally think about those three things as like the three pieces, or even like three pieces of a banana. How like whenever you split a banana down the center, it's like those three solid pieces, like one couldn't be there without the other. And so I really think about this as like you blend it all together. It's all the banana. It's all the robot. I know those are two very different things, but like those are the pictures that come into my mind. And so even today, I made a post that talked about like it was inspired by my purpose gene key, by the purpose sphere in my gene keys, which was the 60. And so that's all about like mindset and all about being like the architect of your own brain and like how you think about things. And so that inspired my post. And without the mindset piece, even though I do like the intuitive work, even though I do these gene key readings, but without the mindset piece, it just wouldn't be the same in my business. So I bring that into my business. I infuse that into my business. And then like the vocation, it's just the same thing. Like I think about, so mine is the 27. It's all about being like this nurturer and like making sure you take good care of yourself first before you take care of others. And so I show up on these lives, like a way that I bring that to my business is I show up on these lives whenever I'm like excited. And like I said, I don't do these like mini readings all the time because I don't always feel like it. And so I have to be willing to give whenever it feels good. So that's just another thing that I infuse into my business. It's the same way when like you join any of my courses, you get like a free, like a bonus hour with me, right? On Voxer, like just because that feels really good to my soul to like overgive in that way. So it's all about like seeing yourself as like that piece of a banana or like that robot, that all of those three pieces come together because those are all three really, really important to your career. But that's such a good question. I hope that makes sense for you. I like to paint pictures in my brain and like it just makes sense whenever I see things in pictures. Hi, Renee. Oh, I'd love to get you. Let me open up. I don't know what happens over on YouTube whenever I open up another thing. I don't think it shares screen unless I ask it to, but that's okay. We're just going to leave it off of shared screen and the people on YouTube can see me typing. Oh, by the way, if anybody has read the ACOTAR series, if you're a fantasy lover and you like sexy fairies, I just finished the series, which the series isn't finished getting written yet, but I just finished it last night. And I thought that these books were going to be so lame. I ended up falling in love with the characters and like reading all 5 books in a month. So just finished A Court of Silver Flames. Now my next book doesn't get here till tomorrow. So that's another reason why I'm probably hanging out here. Because I want to spend time with you and I don't have, ooh. Oh. Are you on the couch? Dang. All right, everybody hang tight over here. We're still going live. So TikTok jumped out of my live. Oh, okay. It paused my live. I have no idea why that happened. Are you guys still here? I see you. Okay, let me see. Renee, are you still there? I've literally never had that happen before. I thought it was just going to, I'd have to start a new one from scratch. I was like, I didn't jump ship on you guys. I promise. Maybe TikTok Live didn't want me to talk about the Sexy Fairy books. They're like, Stephanie, you talk about it enough. People know. They understand that you read these smutty books. There's ones that are crazier. But yeah, if you've ever been tempted to read that book series, it's so good. Just do it. All right. Americus, Georgia. 3. So I'm getting Renee right now. If you're still here, just do a little message below if you're still here. Oh my gosh, it has been forever since I've done these mini readings. I remember thinking, I'm like, the Gene Key website has probably seen my name like thousands of times for how many readings I've done, like so many readings that I've submitted into here. I don't know if I keep track of that, but I probably have more readings than anybody else in this universe. 22:30. I love whenever people already put their stuff in military time. And by the way, I'm going to be saying this a few times throughout my life, but if you want to learn how to read these Gene Keys for yourself, for your business, for your clients, to like do this work with your clients. Oh, I need to make sure. Hang on. If you are wanting to, let's see. There we go. To do this kind of work with your clients, make sure you go sign up for Decode Your Keys. It's the Gene Key course where I teach it in a really fun, simple, and easy way. There we go. Where I teach it in a really fun, simple, and easy way so that you can actually enjoy learning all of this very like complex information, but in a way that it's like, it's taught through pictures. It's taught through like quick, easy ways to learn it. And so if you want to learn how to do this, it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. We have Nicole who does virtual assistant coaching. I have somebody that just signed up today that does like health and wellness. I've had people that do business consultant. I have psychic mediums, homeopaths, all different kinds of walks of life. This helps you not only to know what your strengths are to show up in business with that strength, but also so that you can truly like help your clients in an even faster, more efficient way. Because I was having this conversation with Coach Demi the other day. She had me on her podcast and she's like, it sounds like this is just a map to all of the things that make people like really stand out in their business. I'm like, I know. And she's like, most of the time I have to ask all of these questions and like dig. She's like, but this makes it crystal clear. It's like, yes, it does. So if you are wanting to learn how to read these, just like you could take this, you don't have to read them the exact same way that I do because you'll have your own magic in how you read them with your clients, but you can learn how to do it in a fun way. Make sure you go sign up for Decode Your Keys because we start September 18th. Okay. All right, let me go back up and double check Renee's one more time. What's the name of the book series? It's A Court of Thorns and Roses. I was not here for the first one because I had read Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series. There's like 8 books. I didn't read the prequel. I read all 7 though, and that was really good. And I started this new book series, that A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I was not into it the first like 100 pages. I think I do that where I get stingy with new books and like new storylines until you like get to know the characters, right? And so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. But then like the second book was like one of the best books I've ever read. And so was the 5th one. And they're filthy. I got no shame in my game. They are. Okay, Renee, let's see. Okay. Thank you for being patient with me. I used to try to do these as fast as I possibly could. And now I'm like, let's just chill. And everybody I see, Lisa, I see Jess that you put yours below. As soon as I'm done with Renee's, I'll just ask again. So if you want to copy and paste your date, time, location of birth, and just whenever I ask again, just fire it off to me. I am here for it. Okay. There we go. All right, cool. I'm all caught up. After the weird pause that it made me do, I was like, what is this? Oh, my heart always like melts, Renee, whenever I see somebody that has the 25 in their life's work. And actually, I was telling you, I just did an interview. And I don't know if you know who Demi is. She's Coach Demi. She has like a pretty good following over on Instagram and an incredible business. And she actually has the 25 in her life's work as well. And it's been the funniest thing. I went to one of her business events back in April, and I've always felt from her, I was like, there has to be like a 4 in her profile or something, because I literally just feel like a heart. I feel this like love that radiates out of every single post that she does. And not just because she uses the color pink, but it's just like an outpouring of love for what she does. And it turns out, like, yes, she did have a 4 in her profile, but her life's work was this 25, just like yours. And this 25, if we think about all 64 of the gene keys, right? In our chart, we have 11 of them that we like zoom in, that like, that's something that we're really good at, right? But I believe that we can turn on any of these gene keys in our system at any time. And so I love to think about all of these gene keys, which, by the way, if you haven't downloaded my freebie yet, make sure you go to the link in my bio and download that freebie, because it's like 10 pages of liquid gold for how to read your own gene key chart. But, and it kind of explains what I'm about to talk about in like an easy way and like with pictures. But I like to think about these 64 gene keys as like 64 different race horses. And there's palominos, there's paints, there's ponies, there's quarter horses, there's Arabian horses, there's all the kinds of horses. They all have different mentalities. They all have, some are sweeter, some are more friendly, some are more sassy, right? So all the 64 gene keys are just different. But out of all 64 gene keys, Renee, the 25 is about universal love. And it's about infusing love into every single thing that you do in this world, in your life. So whatever it is that you do, however it is that you show up online, it's like the love is at the underbelly of it all. So if there's any inkling of like, I really don't like this, or this really doesn't feel good for me, that is a solid indicator of like, okay, it's time to move in a different direction. And like, what is it that I do love? Because the way that I don't know if you coach or if you do like business stuff like that, but the way that you come across for other people is like this big, juicy hug for them. Like, you make them feel cradled, you make them feel good, you make them feel empowered in what it is that they're doing. Like, empowerment feels very, very, you're a coach. Yay. Okay. Like, empowerment feels very, very strong for you. And not only that, like, you're a 1-3 in your human design. And it's one of those things where you have the foundation. You have like all of the answers that you need. You're the person that like goes and gets the resources for other people so that they can build upon it and be like, okay, I feel really solid in who I am and what it is that I'm doing. So like, you give that to people. So not only do you wrap this hug around them and you make them feel loved and you like radiate love from your content and from the things that you do, but also like you give people the actual knowledge that they need to get there. Like, whether it be systems, whether it be automation, like whatever it is that you teach in your coaching, like you give them the all the things that they need to know that they didn't even know that they needed to know. And you do it because you actually adore learning this stuff and you adore turning around and teaching it. So always let that love be your compass of like, beep, 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 beep. Like whenever things are going, I said compass, but then I was pretending like I was a metal detector. But it's one of those things that like, no matter what you're doing, like you'll be guided in the right direction from that love compass that's like inside of you. And you will always know that you are teaching that right thing. If you're hungry for that knowledge, if you're like genuinely consumed by this knowledge and you're like, I want to learn more, like turn around and teach as you learn. That is the biggest thing that I can give to line ones, is that sometimes I feel like they think that maybe they're like copying or something whenever they learn all of this stuff. And then they're like, well, how do I don't really want to just take this and turn around and just like do it the exact same way. Like, you're never going to do it the exact same way because you're literally leading from your heart. And like, this isn't something that I say to a lot of people that don't have, a lot of 4s in their chart, like 0.4s, but you truly have like that love compass. And whenever you are so enthralled with something, the clients that need to work with you and need to learn from you, like they're going to be magnetized by you turning around and teaching that thing that you care so much about. So I've had so many people in this world that like have come to me and been like, Stephanie, I've been learning human design for 2 years. And like, I don't know how to like go about doing a reading for someone. It's like, you got to just get out there and do it. Like, you can't just sit on all of this information like a little dragon guarding your hoard of gold. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get out there and share it. You have to get out there and teach it, because the more and more that you teach it, and the more and more that you turn around and share what you love, the better your business becomes and the more that you thrive. So hopefully that helped today, Renee. Let me see. Oh shit. By the way, your pearl is the 8. And that is like your money-making gene key. This is where all of your best money-making ideas come through. And actually, I've had other coaches that I've worked with become very successful by tapping into this. I was interviewing somebody last week, and for my podcast, and she told me, she's like, Stephanie, whenever you first told me about the 8, the influencer that I had in my chart, she's like, I took that to heart, and I really started seeing myself as this influencer, and I started to feel it. She's like, I had always kind of felt it, but like that she was a tastemaker and that people just liked what she liked. Right. And so she's like, I was really taking it to heart. She's like, I was selling a mastermind. She's like, I went out and I celebrated because I had 4 people join my mastermind. And she's like, and I went to like go to McDonald's and get some food. She's like, and I was like, I'm not going to get fries. No. And she ended up leaving, and she's like, shit, I want fries. And so she went to Chick-fil-A and she got these fries. And so she's like, she thought about that influencer gene key. And she's like, I don't have to be perfect or prim or proper. I'm just going to show up and tell people like what I'm doing. And she's like, went to McDonald's, decided I wanted fries, got Chick-fil-A fries. This is my vibe. Like, I'm kind of crazy. Like, I'm going to get what I need. And through that post of her feeling like an influencer, of just sharing, going to another place to get French fries, she got a 5th person into her mastermind. Like, it's all about what we think about ourselves. It's truly like these gene keys turn on something in our system that make us believe like these higher qualities are like living and breathing. And we start playing with these higher qualities. We start leaning into these talents and abilities. So the more that you truly see yourself as like love with that 25th gene key and as that influencer, like both of those are going to play off of each other and really, really help you whenever you show up online. So I just feel like for you, it's just like that total confidence in showing up in your lives and in your posts and doing it just through like that Care Bear stare through your heart. It's going to be golden for you. So, but yeah, I always use these gene keys as like mindset work as well, of like, how do I see myself? And if you just keep seeing yourself as this influencer, that is like literally like you get to just build and build and build. And one day you're just going to like step back and realize, holy crap, I have truly, truly become this incredible influencer because I believed that's who I was. I showed up and that's who I was. And people are drawn to you whenever you like finally tap into your own magic, you know? You're welcome, Birthday. All right, everybody go ahead and drop your date, time, location of birth below. If you haven't dropped it already, there she goes. Jess is ready. I don't hardly ever do these little mini readings, so take advantage of this time. Hello, friend that always calls me the Scarlet Witch, even though I haven't seen the show. Oh my gosh, I had to Google it. Always makes me smile now. Okay. Yes. Happy belated birthday. By the way. Oh, that's really funny. The last Renee had her birthday on the 18th. I'm October 18th. Just a bunch of 18s around here. Just a bunch of 18 peoples. But yeah, if you want to learn how to read these gene keys in a fun, fast, easy way, go over to my Instagram. I teach them through through memes that I create that I literally laugh my way through making these. And so it's just a really easy way to understand them through pictures. But go sign up for Decode Your Keys because it is the grooviest gene key course that exists out there on the internet. Because I know back in the day, I needed like Gene Keys for Dummies, and Gene Keys for Dummies did not exist. It was just like beautiful, poetic, like very long, kind of cryptic. I was like, this is wonderful, but I need it simplified. And so that's what I created. I spent the last year doing readings, working on this with myself and studying. And truly, this is what has been birthed from it. I don't know why I go into like weird singing mode whenever I type in. type in people's stuff. Okay. Oh, Norwich, Connecticut. Okay. Norwich, Connecticut. 18876. Okay, beautiful, Jess. I have yours. Everybody else who wants a little mini reading, make sure you copy and paste your date, time, location of birth. And then whenever I get finished with Jess, I'll be like, all right, drop your birthdays below, and I will grab whoever's pops out first. Meet Mom. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun. It's been so long since I've done these. Yep, everybody just go ahead. The teach learn is good. I need to hear that. Yeah. Oh gosh, Renee, I'm telling you what. Me and Brandy Yates, if you follow her, she does human design. She's like one of my best friends. Like we're having that conversation today. Like we've only ever met online and like done each other's podcasts and gone live with each other, but she teaches human design. I teach the Gene Keys. She's literally one of my best friends. And we were having that conversation today about like literally we learn so much, right? And especially things like the Gene Keys or human design, like there's a lot to learn. But at the end of the day, you have to get out there and do readings and you have to get out there and teach, because the more you do that, the better you get at whatever it is. So like if you're somebody that wants to teach a course on content, but you like keep putting it off and just keep like putting it off and being like, I need to get better at this or I need to do that, like get out there and teach it, because you're going to learn so much from launching. You're going to learn so much from selling. You're going to learn so much from like creating the course and like what goes into it. Like you never know. You might like run that program 8 more times. You might transform that program and make it like a $2,000 program. Like you never know. So go out there and teach. because you just get better the more that you do it. All right. Okay, I'm scrolling down to the bottom so I can see comments. So yeah, make sure you copy and paste or copy your date, time, location of birth. And whenever I finish with Jess, I'll ask everybody to go ahead and drop yours below so you can hang on and chill for that time. Ooh, oh God, Jen. I always think about the people that have this life's work. The very first person that I did a reading with that I came across that had this 29, because this 29 is a little more rare. Like I don't always see a lot of people having it in their life's work. And so I think about it as a mermaid. So the very first person I did a reading for, she's a hypnotherapist, and she's somebody that like is able to go down and like do these deep dives, like have these deep conversations with people and then come up and bring the gold back. But not only that, she's able to like walk on land. If you think about Ariel, how she like grew legs. So it's like you're able to go really, really deep with people, but then also help them to like move on from there. So it's like you're not just a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? Like you have all sorts of skills that help people solve the things and like almost like fix those things from their past. But then on the other side of it, like you point them in the right direction and have them going where they need to go. And so I truly like think about yourself as this mermaid. And there's another 2 qualities that I want you to know about this 29th gene key. And the first one is that like, just there is so much power in the word yes. Like there's so much that we could say no to out of like fear. Right. And we could call it intuition all day long, but really like, let's call a spade a spade. Like it's fear of doing something that's scary. So like over the summer, I put a event together and I had like all these different business owners come together and I taught like human design. We had like the science of manifestation. We had health and fitness and like how that has to do with your business, your mindset. And then I taught the gene keys. I had never done anything like that before. And there was like a lot of automation that had to go into it, like on the back ends, like to keep everybody's stuff separate. You know, there was just like showing up and working with other business owners and like getting everybody on the same page, and just like putting on an event for the first time was like, it scared the living daylights out of me. And I could have easily, whenever that idea came up, I could have easily said no. And instead I leaned into it and said yes, and was like, this is just going to get me better. And like me and Brandy have become really good friends from it. But like, whenever you say yes to things, Jess, like there's so much power there. So like lean into those yeses. Like I've never really seen the movie with like Jim Carrey, but like that yes man where he just like says yes to everything. And I feel like there's a lot of TV shows where it's like somebody just has like one of those yes days, and like obviously be wise with where you do it, but like challenge yourself with those yeses. Like dive into those things that like scare you, but they feel like a full body yes. Okay. That, and through this 29th gene key, there is so much power with connecting with other people, almost as powerful. Oh, you're a 2-4 to begin with already. So you already have this in your system. Anytime I talk about the line 4, it kind of goes hand in hand with this 29th gene key, because there's so much power in connection with other people. So if you have not, like, I don't know what kind of work you do, Jess, if you feel comfortable sharing that, I would love to hear. I just love to hear what people do. Honestly, like I love to hear how people sparkle and shine. It makes me happy. Oh, you have the freaking 8 in your pearl too. Oh, like one after the other, we have these influencer vibes. That makes me so happy. Oh my gosh. I love this. Okay. I'll get to that in 1 second. But it's one of those things that like I was a designer, but I've pivoted to Reiki. Pivot is like people pivoting and rebranding. That is like my wheelhouse. Like I love whenever people do that. And as like intuitive entrepreneurs, I feel like sometimes we're like, why? Like, I feel like I'm the only person that's ever rebranded myself ever. It's like, no, I promise you, as an intuitive, like this is just it's going to continue to happen throughout your life, and it's totally safe and it's totally cool. And your story and your knowledge from before, you get to pull out the pieces that you learned from that business before and use it as you move forward. Because I used to be a lavender farmer and I was a psychic medium. I did readings for people that had crossed over, but I pull that in, like the pieces of knowledge that I need in the business that I do now and how I help entrepreneurs. And so, yeah, there's so much here. But like, okay, these are mini readings though. I have to remember. Okay. But yes. So another thing that you want to do is like connecting with a lot of other people that are doing things similar to you with the Reiki. Like I would talk to other spiritual entrepreneurs that have like maybe similar size audiences to you, but also like reach out to the big fish in your industry. Like the people that maybe are even like just doing business stuff, but they have a spiritual edge to them, and be like, hey, like we could have this live together where we talk about Reiki, where we talk about how energy goes into your business, like why this is so important. And so you would be surprised how many people like genuinely want to connect with somebody else whenever you're like, hey, this is what I can offer you, or like maybe I can do like this session for you. And you get to come together in a way that you wouldn't if you just were like only doing lives by yourself. And then you get exposed to that other person's audience as well. And it just like make it a win-win for both parties. Like that's the whole thing. It's not like you're using somebody to just like get on their page and get in front of their people. It's like, hey, how can I form a genuine connection with this other business owner? And I have made so many friends doing that. And you, because you have the 4 line in your profile, you got a super muscle for that. So like use it. Get on as many podcasts as you can. Interview as many people on a podcast as you can. Whatever your medium is in your business, like as much as you can combine your energy with somebody else and just play with that, the better. But yeah, that 29 like emphasizes that as well. But yeah, you have the influencer energy too. In your pearl, you have the 8. And so this means like seeing yourself as this influencer whenever it comes to the Reiki sphere. I rebranded, set everything up, then paralyzed when it came to be in front of camera. That's totally understandable, because like I felt the exact same way whenever I used to teach. And just so you can tell, like in case you can't tell, like I love to teach through stories. So that's in one of my gene keys. So like that's how I communicate a lot of the time. But whenever I switched to like gene keys, from doing like shadow work and doing like speaking to people who had crossed over, I felt really uncomfortable because it was something that was fresh to me. It was new to me. And plus like nobody was talking about the gene key. So there was like no rules, right? There just like wasn't any idea of like how to talk about these things. And so it scared the living daylights out of me. And for a really long time, I would just like sweat whenever it came to getting on lives. And so I pretty much baptism by fired myself. Like I just like went full pull. So I started teaching. I know that's not always the answer that people want to hear, but like, this is truly how you overcome that paralyzing fear and that nervousness about something, is you literally just go for it. And you just do it again and again and again until it becomes something that you're really comfortable with. And so your message gets crystal freaking clear whenever you continue to repeat this over and over again, and like how you went from being a designer into Reiki, like telling that story again and again, and people will be like, oh my God, I love what it is that you're saying. And like, I need that in my life. Like that feels really good. So leaning into that power of like, you have a very strong voice, like let yourself have a strong voice, and understanding that like it doesn't have to be perfect at first, but the more that you show up, the less you sweat, the less you stammer, the less you get confused, and the more you have like this centralized message, the more you have this centralized message of like, this is who I help and this is how I can help you. Get out from a toxic environment. Well, girl, it sounds like you were put into the right position for the right reason. I feel like when people come across the Gene Keys, it's like you're on the precipice of greatness, of like, you're aware of everything in your life. Like you've done the healing, you've done the things that you needed to do. And now it's time to like come out of the darkness and into the spotlight. Like that's how I feel whenever you find these Gene Keys and you start learning about them. So you've come here at the right time. That was the way I got through it. Oh my gosh. If you can tell that story again and again and again in just different ways and different ways of speaking about it, the better. Like people want to hear you. One thing that I often say is like, we're like, oh my gosh, you have the 8 twice in your chart, by the way. So super influencer vibes. Start seeing yourself like that. But repeat yourself over and over and over and over and over again. Say it in different ways. Say it through a post, say it through a video, say it through a live, say it again and again and again. And the more that you do that, you get so crystal clear in your messaging and how you can help people. I was so like nervous to repeat myself back in the day. Like I would be like, I don't want people to hear me say the same thing over and over again. And if you follow any successful person, that is literally what they do. Like the Alex Hermosis, the Bob Proctors, like anybody like that, anybody that's like leading in their industry, they repeat themselves over and over again. What? I want to make this go away. All right. Okay, never mind. All right, everybody go ahead, drop your date, time, location of birth below if you want to learn how to read these Gene Keys for yourself and for your clients, because it does not matter what kind of business you have. These Gene Keys will infuse an entirely new thing into your business to help you to understand your clients more, to help you point them in the right direction, to help you be pointed in the right direction of how to attract clients best through your natural strengths, through your gifts and abilities. So make sure you go sign up for Decode Your Keys, because we start September 18th. And if you're somebody that's just like, Stephanie, I don't need to learn how to do them, I would just like you to tell me everything about myself, I have my my one-to-one Gene Key readings in there as well. But if you're brand new, make sure you go download my freebie, because it is literally the golden ticket of understanding yourself and understanding your Gene Keys. You're welcome, Jen. Okay, let's see who jumped on first. It looks like Jackie. Jackie, is that a little? I was trying to see what was in the picture. It's hard to see what's in the picture. All right, Jackie. Let's get Jackie. But yeah, make sure you go follow me over on Instagram too, because I just teach these Gene Keys in a really fun, simple, easy way for you to understand. Because back when I was learning, the Netherlands, yay. Back when I was learning, a Gene Keys for Dummies did not exist. And that is exactly what this is. It's just a fun way to learn these things where it doesn't feel like cryptic messaging. It just feels like, ooh, you have Harry Potter's birthday. Squirrel brain. Squirrels. Except I think he was like born in the 80s or 70s or something. I don't remember exactly. I didn't finish the book series. I stopped on book 5. Why did I do that? I'll finish it sometime. I've watched all the movies though. 9:21 a.m. Oh, this is so much fun. It's been such a hot minute since I've done these little speed reads. Oh, I'm not that speedy through it though. Like I am fast, but I get a little like obsessed with the things that make you sparkle and shine, and I like to focus in on them. Henry in the Netherlands. All right, I'm going to scroll back down. Everybody make sure you, oh, it's PM. Yes, glad I saw that. make sure you copy and paste or just copy your date, time, location of birth. And as soon as I get done with Jackie, you can post yours below. I'll let you know whenever you can drop it. Okay. Sometimes I talk at the same time I do this, so I have to pay extra attention. It's Catwoman in your picture, Jackie. I just made a carousel with all the Gene Key memes. I did it for Gene Keys 26 through 34. And I always think about Catwoman for the 28th Gene Key. Like I always do. And so it almost looks like that. Like it has a purple background and it has like a cartoon of her. And so I had Catwoman on the brain recently. Okay. Ooh, you're a 1-3 as well. Got a lot of 1-3s today. Let me scroll back down. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of 1-3s today. So this basically means whenever you're a 1-3 is that you go from one rabbit hole to the next. Like you just learn. You're really good at like soaking up information that the rest of us might like bypass and kind of like fly by the seat of our pants. But like we need your solidity. We need like the things like it's almost like you're the roots of the tree, right? Like you bring us all down and anchor us in. And so through that information that you learn, that is what you do. You make people feel secure. But the really cool thing about the 1-3 is it's like you learn all this stuff and then you go experiment and play. And then you learn all this stuff and then you go experiment and play. So you're kind of like, I think about the 1-3s as like this mad scientist, you know what I mean? Where you literally just get to go learn and then go see how you apply it and then go learn and then go see how it works for your clients and then just back and forth. And that's really, really fun. Like that's a really fun place to be. I've seen some very, very successful people with the 1-3 profiles. Your life's work is a 33. And this is one that I have in my Pearl. And whenever I first came across it, I was like it drove me crazy. Like I didn't understand it at first. Like some of these Gene Keys, they like made so much sense right off the bat. And other ones I kind of had to like sit with and figure out and do readings to like get a deeper understanding of them, you know? And so that 33 to me, because it's in a very prominent position, I'm like, I better figure this shit out because this is my Pearl. This is what's going to help me, you know, make money and have really inspired ideas. And so in your life's work, like what you can bring to your career is actually this 33 is all about contemplation. And that might sound like kind of boring or kind of weird, but like, hear me out because like, this has been one of the biggest needle movers in my life is understanding that I do not need to solve people's problems, basically of people that aren't paying me. You know what I mean? Like whenever I used to answer the phone for like a family member or a friend that would have the same exact problems every single week, I was tearing myself away from my own brain and my own thinking. Like I was constantly being like using my brain power to solve other people's problems rather than figure out the things that felt really groovy to me. And so there is so much power whenever you can become focused in and like really allow yourself to like every single day, like going on these walks where, or even just like having this time where you can just sit with your thoughts. You can sit with the things that come through you because the more that you do that, the more energy you'll actually have to show up online and to teach people. And so very true, especially at the moment. Yeah. So I had to go through a whole phase of that, Jackie, where I just like literally like last year, I just let everybody else, like I let it go to the wayside and I just focused on me and what it is that I need. And actually through that, instead of just helping one person at a time, pulling them out of a ditch, I literally started helping thousands of people by jumping online every single week, like build skyscrapers. You know what I mean? There's a difference between pulling people out of ditches versus helping people build. You see what I'm saying? So like use your intuitive gifts to build. Don't always be like problem solving the things that aren't going to like move the needle forward in your own life, right? And so really think about like how you can help other people build in their world too, in their business too. And that's going to make you feel so revitalized and full of energy. And actually like one of the my very favorite imageries that come with this life's work is like, I literally picture myself sitting on the beach, getting a notification on my phone of like, hey, somebody just paid $10,000. Hey, somebody just paid $12,000. Like there's so much power in the retreat where it's like, you know that you lined all your ducks up. You've done everything that you need to do. And so you can sit back, relax, and everything just pours through to you. So there really is like, whenever you take this time for yourself and to get organized and to like leave yourself space to really think and come up with these ideas and channel through your genius, so much more flows through to you. So much more flows through to you. And then, you have the 5 in your culture, and the 5 is all about rhythms and routines. And so this is obviously like incorporating that time for yourself, for your thinking, but like having routines of your every single day is going to be really, really healthy for you and beneficial for you. And actually you're somebody that's very, very good at teaching other people how to have routines in their life, because Lord knows that like more people need structure, right? And so you would actually be good at teaching somebody how to have like a rhythm and routine in their life. With this, do not get caught up in the idea that it has to be the same routine every single day, because you want to add a different flavor, a different flair in there. Like every other week, every few weeks, you like change it up a little bit, because that creates like even more creativity for you in your brain. But rhythm and routine is like very, very strong for you. So take the information you need from that and go run with it in your business and in your life in general. Thank you, Jackie, for letting me read for you. All right, everybody, go ahead, drop your date, time, location of birth below. Do the first one. Very golden. Elise, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Elise. I have fairies on the mind because I just finished the ACOTAR series, the Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm crazy. Oh, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. Oh, you are so welcome. Elise, it's so funny. Whenever people are like born within a few years of me, I'm like, we're friends. Like we're friends just by association. Like we would have been in high school together. It's just what my brain thinks. I'm a 1990 kid. A little Aquarius cutie. I love Aquariuses. Maybe it's an air sign, loving air sign things, but I don't know. I just think they're cool. I don't talk about like astrology that much. And it's funny because the gene keys are based on astrology, but I literally think about them as like, I don't know. Sometimes I think about them as like separate than just regular astrology. It's like turning on these higher qualities inside yourself. Georgia. 10 Fatima L. And what else? Red. Leash. There we go. Okay. Yep. I think like that too. I'm glad you like that. Oh, and I did say it right. Elise. Cool. Sometimes I'll have people that come on here and they'll like tell me their name and it's different than how I pronounce it. So like I used to just write it down on notepads, even if I like wouldn't see that person again, but it would be funny. I'd like think about that person's name, even when I was like taking a shower or driving, and then I'd see them pop up again. I'd be like, hey, I know how to pronounce your name correctly now. Ooh, Elise. I'm like super excited because I love this life's work that you have. Okay. So I nerd out about this. Before I dive in any further, by the way, if you are just joining on, if you want to learn how to read these gene keys in a fun, simple, easy way, make sure you go to the link in my bio and go sign up for Decode Your Keys. We start September 18th, and it's just the grooviest little course, and it's got the best people in it, so we're going to have so much fun. I can't wait. Okay. Hyperactive today. Like I said, I just got off of that podcast interview with Brandy Yates and we just like have too much fun together. So get all giggly. Okay. Your life's work. Actually, your profile line, Elise, before I even go into the life's work, you're 6'2". And I think that the profile lines are really important because a lot of human design teachers, they focus so solely on just strategy and authority. And like, those are beautiful things. I've heard so many people that like their life changes because they find out they're a projector or a manifester. I love her too. They find out that they're like a manifestor or projector or whatever. Like, that's groovy. That's cool. But like, my crazy butt has always been obsessed with profile lines. Like, for some reason, that makes so much sense to me. And I have seen where it changes people's business. So first and foremost, at least, like, whenever you're a 6, life can sometimes feel like you're a bit of an alien and like you are truly like separate from a lot of other things that are happening. And it's almost like this in this world, but not of it. You're in this world, but not of it. And that can be one of those things. And especially with what your life's work is, that I'm going to go into it for a minute, where you can almost feel like people don't get what it is that you're saying because it's so above and beyond. But I want you to instead see yourself as this person that has an incredible Hawk's point of view, and your clients need that. The people that want to work with you need somebody that can map out their next 20 steps and like show them the grander, bigger vision through like your intuitive hits and through what you know works. Like, show them that bigger vision because they need that from you. People are coming to you. Yeah, we can talk about the 6 being the role model all day, but like, I really feel like these 6s like point people in the right direction because you've been in the thick of it, like living that first 30 years, like the 3, right? You've ridden the roller coaster, but now you're kind of like the dad that sits on the side and like eats the cotton candy and like watches the roller coaster after and like analyzes things. Right. So like, see yourself as like, I rode that roller coaster and now I'm here and I can see it from a different angle and I can help the people that are like riding that roller coaster right now. I can help guide them in the right direction. Not only that, but you have, I call this the secret too. And I have like such a loving name for it because I'm a 5-2, you're a 6-2. And I always call it the secret too, because we're like these little magical hermit people, right? And so all that like the 2s ever get talked about is that hermit thing, right? And I beg to differ that there is so much imagination, there's so much intuition in the 2 that like does not get a light shown upon it enough. And so it's understanding that what comes simple to you is something that people see you as an absolute master at. And so start owning what it is that you do. And so I've played around with this in like my Instagram bios before of being like, I'm the rebrand genie, or like, I'm the personal brand whisperer, right? So like, you have to come forward and be like, I am the Tinkerbell of content, like whatever it is for you. Like, I am the sexy witch of harnessing your desires. Like, that's not specific enough, but you know what I'm saying? Like, call yourself something and own it. Like, stand behind it, play with the different things like that. And like, I'm not telling you to go like become obsessed with the title, because I got stuck in that for a long time in my business, but just be playful with it. Like, just like like put it up and see how it feels. And then just like, the more that you do it and the more that you talk about it, it'll really like set in there and people will be like, oh, this is who I go to for that thing. This is the person. This is my person. So I don't know what you do. But if you feel comfortable with sharing that, super groovy. But okay, here's where your 6 line really comes into play with your life's work. So gardening, I love that. Do you do fairy gardens? Do fairy garden help? Do you like make little fairy gardens for people? Provide gardening help for beginners. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is where like my little strategy, my little business strategy comes into play. Are you like offering online like little mini courses for people, like something that's like quick for them to gobble up? Or like, I could literally even see somebody being like so excited to be like, take a little course on like, here's how to build your fairy garden within your garden. Like, all of these things come through like ideas in my brain. Oh, you're writing an ebook now. Yay. Okay. That's beautiful. I always say, I'm like, this goes for everybody listening, by the way. Have a freebie, because my life freaking changed whenever I created that Gene Key freebie, and make it be really juicy and like super valuable for people, because like people are hungry for value. And once you do provide value for people, like they want to come back to you and they want to learn more. Like, even as I sit here right now doing these readings, like I'm providing value. I'm not even asking for anything in return. And I'm doing it because it's fun. And I'm like enjoying these little spicy mini readings. I don't do that often, but like share from a place that like feels really good to you. Because don't go fluffing the pillows or making casseroles if that doesn't feel good to you. But like, if you can share like that freebie for people, beautiful, because they can get on your email list. And then second, I always say, if you could do like a 3-day course that's like a no-brainer price for people, that's like $27 of like, this is how to get your garden in shape before winter. Like, this is how, so that it is like busting out during spring, so that your garden is ready to roll come springtime. And you literally sit and you teach that for 3 days. You make it like $27 and then you sell that passively afterwards. Like, this is where we get into the gold. So anybody out there, know that there's magic in the freebies. There's magic in the like, record something that's simple for you, that feels really fun, that you're excited about teaching about. Like, make some slides for it, make it cute. And it doesn't matter if 100 people sign up for it at the beginning or you're talking to 2 people. Like, it does not matter, because some of the things that I've done like that, like, I didn't have anybody it sold to, and then it sold afterwards. You know what I mean? Made me like thousands of dollars afterwards. So think about whenever you're creating things in a way of like, can I have a freebie? Can I have like this fun little thing that I created that people can buy at any time? And then keep just building from there. Yeah, they're willing to try other things that I have to offer. I totally agree. The freebies always bring people to my website because of the free. I have to like look at your stuff now. This is so fun. Why do I think it would be so fun? Since you have the fairy garden thing, like literally just like different ways for people to decorate their fairy garden. Like, I think that'd be so cute. That'd be so fun. Oh my gosh. And just so you know, a gene key reading is like a deep dive into your human design and astrology. It's basically like if you were to take a claw machine, like at the bowling alley that like goes and grabs you a stuffed animal. If you were to take the claw machine and go over your human design chart, it picks up really important pieces of your human design chart and it lays it over here on the circly madness chart. And it basically just goes in deeper so that you can understand more about yourself. Okay. I don't believe that the gene keys are done. That's why I still marry human design and gene keys a lot. But yeah, so before I am finished with my little fairy friend, your life's work is the 41 though. And this is kind of what I was talking about with your line 6. This is you really being ahead of your time. Okay. I say LOLOL too. I say that all the time. I'm so glad we're friends. We're already friends. You were so ahead of your time. And I think about this 41 as this person that like, they're really good writers. They're really good like fantasy writers because you literally build a world. So I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday on the live. It's like, you're building a world for your clients. Like, you're building a world for them to come into to learn about gardening and learn about like how to improve their life. And, oh my gosh, I just like, I just had that little sweet part in my heart because I don't know if you've read I'm going to talk about this so much, the A Court of Thorns and Roses books, but like one of the characters is like obsessed with gardening and she's a fairy and I love that. But with that 41, you're so ahead of your time. Gummy bears, you're so ahead of your time, and understand that like, just because somebody else isn't doing it does not make it wrong, does not make it bad. You get to be at the cutting edge of how you teach the thing that you love to teach. And like, it's safe to do that. Like, I wish somebody would have told me this time last year, like, Stephanie, just go out and just do it. I did it. And I was like nervous teaching the gene keys, and especially teaching the gene keys through the lens of the entrepreneur and teaching them in a simplified way because it did not exist anywhere. And I was scared and I was like, and I have this 41 in my business chart. So it was very like ahead of my time. And like, not a lot of people knew about it, right? Or knew that they even needed this thing. And so you get to ride that wave in, my friend. And like, think about this. Like, you're riding this wave out in the ocean and there's people on the beach that like don't even know the wave is coming, and you're mastering it so that by the time that the wave comes in and the people see it, they're like, you are my go-to, you are the expert. So just keep playing with these like mini courses that you can create with like any idea, any things that feel fun, that don't even feel like so much pressure on yourself, and just keep putting those out, and they will build and build and build. I promise you that, because there are people out there paying for courses that are like how to open your own lemonade stand. So like you bet your bottom dollar with all the creative gardeners out there of like wanting to use that as a way to like zen themselves and balance themselves and find peace in their life outside of even their business. Like people are looking for what you have. So just have fun with that. See how you can take all the elements of gardening that you love and like break it down into those little pieces that are like easy to sell. And then from there, like you can have bigger courses and you can have like memberships and things like that. So it can go really far. It like truly, we can make business out of whatever the heck we want. We live in a day and age where we have so much opportunity to create something from scratch. So utilize that. Be this little cosmic surfer that like brings in this like whole teaching about gardening in a way that it hasn't been done before. So why do I feel like I keep obsessing about your fairy garden class? I don't even know if you want to do it, but I'm like, that's so cool. Like that would be so fun for people. Okay, I'm a nerd. I read too much fairy books lately. But they're sexy fairies. All right, go ahead and drop date, time, location of birth. I have time for a little bit more. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, though. That was beautiful. You are welcome. I've done gardening classes for children. Oh, that's so adorable. I love that. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm going to go ahead. I see NT. You have been here and been very patient, and then I'll come back around. But yeah, everybody make sure that you copy and paste your date, time, location of birth. NT, you're always so patient. Especially whenever I see people like jumping on my lives more than once and I like recognize your name, I just want to say thank you, because like I appreciate you hanging around and like having these conversations and asking questions. Like whenever people ask questions, like it inspires me so much. So like I love this. I love this work. All right, 10, 12. $19.85. But yes, if you want to learn how to read these gene keys, make sure you go to the link in my bio and go sign up for Decode Your Keys. We start September 18th. Yay. This is the round 2 of the gene key course. So we're going to be going into all 64 of the gene keys. And then there are 4 pre-recorded courses in there as well. Actually 5, I think, that teach you all about the different lines and how to use them as a business owner. Yeah, the very first round of this course like went deep. They went deep. So going to be learning stuff a really light, easy, fun way this time through. What am I looking at? Where am I looking at? There we go. This is what happens when you have multiple things in your brain at once. Okay. Oh, wait. 18, 23. Okay. Sometimes whenever people's birthdays are on top of each other, I have to be like, wait, let's really make sure we're doing all one line, all the right things. Thank you, lifestylist. I appreciate you. It's just a different way of looking at information that can sometimes feel like really complex or like a foreign language. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this does get to be fun. Like this can be simple. And it's like an excellent way to work with your clients because you get right to the heart of what makes them different and what makes them stand out. You get right to the heart of what makes you different and what makes you stand out. And all of that is like fuel to the fire of like how you post, how you make videos, how you send out emails. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. Let's see. NT. Okay. So, you, my little friend, you are a 5-1 in your profile. And I love talking with people that have fives in their profile. Like, little bias. I know, because I'm a 5-2. I'm married to a 5-1. So many of my clients have been 5-1s, but truly, like, there's something so beautiful about these fives because, like, you come to this moment where you have to stand up on your soapbox and you have to be willing to shine. And you have to be willing to be seen and willing to be heard and willing to be different and willing to share your opinions. And here's the thing. I love to think about this picture of like, I don't know why I always picture it in like Athens, Greece or something, of like a full marketplace. And like people are shopping, people are doing things, and there's you with this soapbox, just like knowing in your heart that it's time to share your message. And eventually you got to get up and you got to start talking. And then one person will stop, and then two people will stop, and then 30 people are listening to you, and then thousands of people are listening to you. And like there's going to be people in the crowd that are like, no, I don't believe that. And you literally get to tune that out and speak to the people that need to hear your voice and need to hear the way that you explain certain things, the things that you love, the things that you're passionate about, that you create in your business. Like, you're speaking to those people. So being a 5 means that you're bold, means that you're brave. And because you're a 5-1, kind of like I was saying earlier, you go and you get the information. Like, you're a problem solver. And so you go get this information for people that makes them feel safe, makes them feel secure. And like, they really want to listen to you because they believe in what it is that you're saying. They can feel that it's true. So trust yourself with that. Yeah, but in your life's work, give me a second. In your life's work, you have the 57. And like I say about the gene keys, if you picture all 64 of the gene keys, like 64 different horses, we got paint horses, we got palominos, we got ponies, we got all different kinds, right? Out of all 64 of those horses or those gene keys, yours is the 57. And that is the one that is truly about intuition. And I often say to people, I was having this conversation a little bit yesterday, and I'd like to just build upon that right now, is that I remember back in the day, whenever I thought to be intuitive, like the epitome of being intuitive was going to a psychic fair and seeing the tarot readers there, right? Like, I remember that and being like, oh, if I could just get there one day, if I could just be that person that was doing those intuitive readings, like that is the epitome of being psychic. And then I did it. And I realized it's not that big of a deal. And there's so much more you can do in business and like build a fucking empire, right? And so I want you to know that your intuition, it doesn't have to just be applied through like things that we relatively think of as psychic, like tarot cards or Reiki or healing or shadow work or things like that. Like, you could be a brand strategist and be very, very intuitive. You could be somebody that does business consulting and you're very, very intuitive. You could be a homeopath and be very, very intuitive. Whatever it is that you do, know that underneath it all, at the underbelly of everything, is your intuition, and is this like inner driving force that is the supercomputer that always knows what it is that you need. And honestly, the one piece of advice that I always give people with this 57 is to like take off the cape of being an empath, to retire your empath vibes, to let that go, and to realize that you do not have to pick up on things to be powerful. You can set the tone for your own life. And actually, whenever you set the tone for what it is that you expect and how it is that you want to feel, you are so much more intuitive than if you were waiting for the next thing to happen. I promise you that. So you are so powerful with your intuition, and know that whatever it is that you love, even if you make fancy pancakes, even if you're a fitness expert, like, let your intuition be the guide and like kind of wrap it in to what it is that you're doing. So use your intuition. Oh, you have the 41 in your pearl. We were just talking about the pearl, or just talking about the 41, about being ahead of your time. So use that intuition in a way that is ahead of your time, that you're riding that cosmic wave before people even know that they need something. Like, you're on top of it. So trust those nudges, because they're going to tell you what it is, like whenever it finally comes time for you to like really marry with something that you love and you want to put out into the world over and over again, like you will know it. And even if it's not something that everybody knows about yet, lean the in because it's just going to get stronger and you will be the expert at it. So take that and run with it. Get up on your soapbox, use your intuition in a way that feels good to you, and trust yourself when you are ahead of the curve on anything. It's for a reason. I'm going to get, let me see. The lifestylist, are you still on? Just drop below. You're welcome. Drop below. Yeah, there you are. I see you. I was going to get you because you've been so patient. And I'll get you too, Carrot, if you're still on after Carrot. That's so funny. I'll get you too, Carrot, if you're still on after. I'm going to get the lifestylist real quick. 11, 12, 82. And after that, it may be done. I got a tinkle. TMI. 21. Wait, no, I gotta go back up there. 82. 5:52 a.m. But yeah, if you're brand new to like looking at your gene key chart, make sure you go download that freebie that I have in the link in my bio. I feel like that freebie is golden. Like that is my little golden girl. I love her. She is so cute and she makes it so much easier for you to read your own gene key chart, because that was something that took me like months and months and months and months to understand, because like nowhere on the internet did it just spell it out in a way that you could understand it in a quick way. So that's what I created. That's usually what happens. Like whenever you're like, hey, there's not a tool for that. Like if you hear all like the inventors on Shark Tank, I just started watching Shark Tank, by the way. Like how many years behind am I with that? But now I'm like, oh, I actually like understand this a little bit more. But yeah, like they invent things because they see the gap. They see the gap. And so that's what I did with Gene Keys. I saw the gap and I was like, there you go. Let's make it easier. Let's make it simple. Let's bring some pizzazz. 52. Okay. Lifestylist. I got you. Nicole. Oh, I love you, Nicole. Nicole, you literally, like, I was thinking about how you always are like, hey, that freebie's kick ass, or like whatever. I'm like, she embodies her cheerleader gene key, that 37 gene key. I'm like, she embodies that so deeply. And I love that. Like, oh, I love that. Oh, makes me happy. Makes me so happy. Yeah, I always think that whenever I see you like say something about that freebie, I'm like, she gets it. Like she's living her key. Another 1-3, the lifestylist. Oh my gosh, another 1-3 today. So much 1-3 energy. This is all about you learn, then you play. Learn, play. Experiment, see how it works. See how it works for you. See how it works for your clients. Learn, play. It's really, and honestly for you, you are going to be healthiest whenever you let yourself be adventurous and have fun and go explore, whether it's like actual physical travel or it is like you're just doing different things with your business. You crave that diversity and you crave that mix up. So let yourself play and be in a lot of different places at once. And that's not something that I tell a lot of people, but let yourself do that. It's going to be really good for your energy. Yeah, to have that more diverse experience when it comes to building your business. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. This like makes perfect sense. I have a mantra. Playfulness is my superpower. I'm obsessed with that mantra. I love that mantra. I'm going to like tuck that in my little back pocket because I dig that too. I love doing business through humor and business through fun. So you speak my language. Ooh, oh, whoa. Okay. I just got really excited. I haven't ever seen this before. So what I do is a lot of times whenever I do mini reads, I used to focus on like the whole prosperity sequence. Today, I've just been kind of like bouncing with where I'm called to, but your whole prosperity sequence, it has like a double mint gum feel to it because it's like double the flavor, double the fun. This means that you have two separate gene keys that repeat. So in your life's work and in your pearl, you have the 43. And in your vocation and your culture, you have the 28. And so I have this where like my things repeat too. I have a couple of different gene keys in my chart that repeat. And so whenever we have the repetition, it means you go that much more gung ho on like, that is something that you're really good at. This is something that you teach from, and this is your superpower. And holy shit, this actually like genuinely excites me because both of these keys that you have that are in all four of your prosperity sequence of the blue up top, they are about being a rebel and being wild. How fun is that? Like you literally just got the permission slip in your business to be like, take no prisoners, to be as crazy, as bold, as fun as you want to be with that 43. And then with that 28, I literally think about like a Catwoman straddling. I just did some memes on this the other day. Catwoman like straddling a building in New York City, like literally being on the edge. It's a very YOLO vibe. And like the wilder you are, the better. That's my nickname. Oh my gosh. I have both these gene keys too. Oh my gosh. Yay. Okay. This is what's fun because like anytime that you hang out and like listen to these readings, a lot of the times you'll either hear something that just feels very true to you, or else you like I'll be reading keys that are in your chart too. So it's a win-win for everything. So yeah, lifestylist, you get to be, and I see like that little blue hair in your picture. So like I really love that. It's like anytime you can go out of your way to be different and show that part of you is going to draw in all the right clients to you. Like you literally, this is insanity because you literally have a permission slip to be as fun and crazy and weird as you want, but shoot that lens, like shoot that through the lens of whatever it is that you really love in your business, like that you really want to bring forward in your business. Like be as wacky, be as creative, be as different in the way that you post and the way that things look. Like go for it. Like this is just like, oh, I almost like, I don't have some of these in my chart, but almost just from reading your chart, I'm like, oh, I want to incorporate this in my system where it's just like that freeness of that play that you were talking about earlier. You get to just keep doing like, and the more that you like you lather, rinse, repeat this, like I always say, like copy paste or like lather, rinse, repeat this over and over and over again, the stronger you will get with it. Like play with it whenever it comes to your emails, play with it whenever it comes to your freebies, play with it whenever it comes to like how you post, and like the wilder, the better. The wilder, the better. And like, you don't have to be like so audacious just for the sake of being it, but it's like, that's who you are. You're different. You're strange. You're unique. You're beautiful. Like bring all of that into your business. Bring all the pieces of you into your business. I work with women to heal through style. This is definitely resonating. Oh my God. And like, this is the thing. I don't know if you already do this right now, but I'm just like picturing you like making videos with like really cool glasses and like the different kind of hair. And like, there are so many people that like edgy clothing, you know what I mean? That like not everybody would wear. And that would bring so many people out of their shell to see you doing that. And you literally use, like, this is the funnest thing. We get to use our freak flag as a way of like a yay or nay for people, right? So whenever I teach the gene keys through memes, people are either like, this is dumb. This is so dumb. I don't like this. Or they're like, Stephanie, where have you been my whole life? I love learning this way. This is so fun and silly. Like, you showing up with like the way that you present yourself and as bold as you want to be, as different as you want to be, like making the TikToks. Like, I feel like that's something that just like explodes on TikTok. Whenever you just show up and you look cool AF and you look different than everybody else, people will be like, I want to learn from you. And maybe they won't be as crazy and as wild as you because they're not supposed to, but you're giving people a secure place because you're the 1-3. You're giving people that secure place to feel like, oh, I'm going to like color my hair. Oh, I'm going to start incorporating this color into my wardrobe. Or, oh, I'm going to start like getting all these fun glasses and these like funky things. Oh my God, I'm going to start wearing these really cool pants because like, that's what makes me feel really confident. I'm so excited. I have shrunk for so long and this is my permission. Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. This is what this always feels like. This is what these gene keys do for you and for your clients. It's like, It shaken to awakens you. You know what I mean? It's like these little things that we feel about ourselves, but we're not like shining the light on. We're like hiding our beautiful light under a bushel and like we're not here for that anymore. I'm so excited. Like, I feel like whenever I see somebody online that's like posting and they look different, it like captivates my attention, right? Like it really like even like I wear these little rainbow glasses because they A make me happy, but B it's like something to look at. It's something to like grab people's attention whenever you're talking to them. So like use that as a resource as your funky flavor to like bring people in that are like, "Oh, I wish I was that bold," or like, "How do I start incorporating that?" And like I said before, then you make a freebie for it. You do like a 3-day masterclass that you sell passively about how to like bring more funk into your wardrobe, how to bring more pizzazz into your wardrobe, I don't even think you have to say like how to heal through your design. Like I think that it can be like how to feel excited to get dressed, like get excited to wear your outfit out next, like whatever it is, like making people feel like, because not everybody knows that they have to heal through their wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't realize that that would be like the missing piece that would actually heal like their confidence level. It's like add pizzazz to your life, like add flavor, add flair to your life through your style. Ah! I'm having so much fun. Okay, but yeah, be crazy, be as wild as you possibly can. I have recently come across this with my own chart where I went even deeper into one that's called the comedian. And once I started doing that, I just feel so fun showing up on these lives. I feel so fun showing up in my posts. And so even your girl who teaches this stuff, I can always go deeper and deeper into it. So trust yourself because like in your money making gene keys is wildness and the rebel. Like if like you can walk away just knowing that. Like that is like mindset work to the extreme, wildness and the rebel. Okay. You feel like complete girl because I feel like you already have so many ideas of the things that you can do. I'm so excited for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for hopping on. I love how people can apply this to like different kinds of work and different kinds of business. You know what I mean? And it really even helps us to like show up in how we post. So I did a post today and I talked about that over on Instagram. Her gene keys, hey Melly, her gene keys in her prosperity sequence, she had her life's work and her pearl were the 43, so the rebel, and then her vocation and her culture were the 28, which is like the wild one. Okay. Misty, let me get you after. Where's Carrot? Where's the carrot? Where's the carrot person? And Taurus, you have been waiting. I have had so many people that have been patiently waiting. Carrot, what is your date, time, location of birth? Actually, if you guys are cool with it too, I may pause this really quick so I can go run and fill up my water. And then I can come back and like hang out for a little bit longer. Or I can like cut it short. You okay if I pause? Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause it real quick. Carrot, yeah, make sure you drop that. And then whoop, how do I pause now? Now I have to learn. How do I pause it? Okay, I'll be right back. I just got to move this guy. How do I move you? How do I move you? Why are you being stingy? Why are you being stingy, little guy? Bah. Hang on. I might have to make him go away and then bring him back. Let's see. Oh, you stingy little thing. Technology. How do I squeak you? Maybe if I take it away. Let me see. Green screen. This is my little dessert picture I took earlier. Okay. I use that in my email. Let's see if this will work now. Oh, come on. There we go. Good job, friend. We just had to have patience. Where can we go to see our gene keys? I did one, but it gave me 3. Oh, I would go to just go Google free gene key profile, and the Gene Keys website will come up, and it will pull up a chart with like 11 different circles. And so if you're wanting to like understand what all of that means, I have a really, really good and useful freebie in the link in my bio that you can download, and it just tells you how to read it very easily and like what those things mean. So let's get Carrot. Carrot. It's Barrett. I like that. Barrett the carrot. Mini hoppers. Ooh, good cracks. My husband's always like, don't do that. I'm like, watch me be crazy. Didn't I just have somebody else's birthday that was like 9/21 or maybe? No, I understand there's a lot of information in there. Okay, wait. Gotta find Barrett again. There we go. Me. Okay. Six. Oh, shoot. Barrett, if you could just right below, is that AM or PM that your birthday is? 6 AM or PM? I'm going to assume it's AM, but I'll check below. So September 20th, 1993. Okay. Let me just double check with you before I hit send. Oh, Carrot, is it AM or PM? Is your birthday AM or PM? Carrot friend, I'm going to need an answer. Hello? Is your birthday AM or PM? 6 AM or PM? That's the one thing that I was missing. Oh, you said PM? I didn't see that on there. Okay. All right, cool. All righty, Roo. Okay. Ooh. Oh my gosh, you're a 1-3 as well. This is wild because yeah, sometimes the comments won't go through. Like I've had that happen with people before. This is so wild. So many 1-3s today. Like, what is the deal? All of you little people who go and learn, and then play, experiment. This is so cool. Yeah. So you already heard me talking about that a little bit, so I won't go into as much detail. Melly's a 1-3 too. Ah! Oh my gosh. It's just a 1-3 kind of day. Yeah. Apparently today is the 1-3 day. I am attracting the 1-3s. I had somebody that I dearly love that was in one of my summer courses that was a 1-3 as well. And she did a really good job with like exemplifying it, you know? And so, yeah, truly with that 1-3, it's like turn around and use that knowledge that you gain. Like turn around. That's okay. I'm the oddball too, Misty. I'm a 5 too. So it's one of those things that like turn around and teach as a 1-3. Turn around and play. Turn around and create. Like, do not hold your wisdom hostage because you're waiting to be perfect and you're waiting to have it all figured out, because all of the biggest changes, all the biggest needle movers in your life will be through this action that you take. And you're never going to learn unless you go out there and move with what you learn. So that you could be that person that like reads 20,000 books on business, but if you would have just taken one of those books and started applying it and started teaching it your own way, that's where the money's at. So start to see yourself like get absorbed in the thing that you like and then teach it, and then get absorbed and then teach it. Okay. See how it works for people. But you have the 46 in your life's work. And anytime I talk to people with this 46, I do not care how you feel currently about yourself in this instance. But from here on out, I want you to see yourself as a living, breathing 4-leaf clover, because literally around every single corner is opportunity for you. You are meant to be this person that whenever you're in harmony with yourself, whenever you're in line with yourself, you are lucky AF. Like other people see you and are like, how are things just falling into place for you? And it's truly like through that inner harmony and the inner peace of like, I'm doing the thing that I love and that feels really good to me. And when I trust that things are working out for me, like that's just how it plays out in this material world. There's a lot that this life's work has to do with the material world. So like in your content, you are the kind of person that would do best talking about like the fun dinners that you go to, like the experiences, the adventure, because of course, as a 1-3, you crave adventure and doing different things, whether it be traveling or stimulating yourself in your business in a different way, like talking about those things, like talking about the human experience and like all the fun things in this physical reality. That's going to be really, really good for you and your business. And that's going to make you feel really fulfilled because you're tasting life, you're experiencing life. And whenever you do that, your cup will feel really full. Whenever you share that with people, that will make them feel like, oh, I want to learn from this person. I want to be in this person's world. I want to watch this person's stories. I want to see what it is, like how they experience life. So use that as a strength and as a superpower to know that this isn't just airy fairy work that you do. Like the work that you do is very, very tangible and it's brought down into this earth. Okay. And then, I want to touch on your culture. So I think about the culture key is like whenever we learn all these other gene keys and we get up on this world stage, and it's almost like the people we then attract after we've integrated all of these gene keys. And so I want you to know first and foremost that like with this 18th gene key, it is okay to be what is the 46th gene key called? They call it like sensuality. I always think of it as like the 4-leaf clover. Like for me, I always think about it as like a very worldly, like living thing. So people call it different things. But yeah, a lot of people call it sensuality or the sensualist or things like that. But yeah, I think about it as being this like lucky bird. Like whenever you are living and breathing this human experience, like things fall into place for you. And so you are somebody that actually does really well with like mindfulness and like coming back to your center, coming back to your now, and not even doing it in a way where it's like, you have to sit down for 10 minutes and think about these things. No, I mean, like just in a way of like, you take a deep breath and you take 10 seconds of your day to like look around and be like, thank you. This is amazing. This is incredible. Like you will get so much out of that. I hear like milk your experiences, like milk every single experience that you have. Never said that before in my life, but that's for you. Okay. So your culture is the 18. And so anytime that you may think you're being hard on yourself or pushing yourself too far with certain things or like wanting everything to be perfect, I want you to understand that that's not a bad thing. And actually that's part of your tool belt. You need to be that person that puts the cherry on top of the cake. You need to be that person that goes further than other people and really makes things stand out in the aesthetically pleasing way and in a way that like that you know that you've done a job well done. Like, you know that you've put all of your eggs in the basket. You know that you've crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. Like, this is where you're going to shine in business. So I was actually having this conversation with Brandy, Miss Brandy Yates, before, like when we were on our podcast, and she was asking me, she's like, do you go into things like, and really like before you do interviews and like prep, or do you just like let the intuitive side come through? And I told her, I was like, human design and gene keys aside, I was like, I had listened to this thing from Alex Hermosi, and he was talking about the fact that like before he gets on any phone calls or does any like Zoom meetings, he spends like 20 minutes going over everything. And like, even just like taking your time and being in that energy for a while, and you show up so much better and more prepared. Gummy bears, you show up so much better and so much more prepared than anybody else out there whenever you give yourself that 20 minutes, right? And so I love to think about the fact that like whenever I set up the bones for something, I have like a baseline of what it is that I'm going to talk about. I love these gummy bears. You guys, gummy bears are one of my favorite desserts, and I put them in a freezer like some crazy person, but I love them in the freezer. But yay, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I didn't even know that was up there. I didn't know I did it. But whenever you go the extra mile, you will feel so much comfortable. You'll feel so much more confident. So lean into that thing. Lean into doing a little bit more than the average Joe would. And that's going to be really, really beneficial for you. That's what's going to make you stand out from the rest. So being a part of this physical experience, highlighting everything in this physical experience, seeing yourself as this living, breathing, walking 4-leaf clover that literally everything just really does get to fall in your lap whenever you line up your ducks in a row and you do the things that you need to do. You're proud of your work. And this isn't about like driving yourself crazy with perfection. This is more about like knowing that you are going to put in the effort to do it well. So lean into those things. You bring that into your business, and lather, rinse, repeat with the learning and the playing and experimenting, learning, playing, and experimenting, and you're golden, friend. All right. I'm going to get Taurus Tarot and then Melly. Okay. So Taurus, go ahead and drop yours. So I'm going to get you two for sure. And then I think it's time for a snack, quite possibly. But no, even if I don't read your gene keys today, like whenever you listen to me talk about these gene keys, you're learning more, and there are pieces of truth in here for you, whether you have the gene key that I'm talking about or not. Like, I know that whenever you hang out and whenever you're like in this world, you get the pieces of what you need. You'll hear truth, and you'll be like, yes, I'm going to take that and I'm going to go run with that in my business now. So it doesn't matter who I'm really reading for, to be honest with you. Everybody gets something out of this. So, oh, Melly, I think I meant to say Misty, but thank you for letting me know that, Melly. I appreciate you. I will do Misty next because Misty has been patient for me after I do Taurus Tarot. I almost like okay, Misty. Yes. Thank you for letting me know, Melly. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. Ooh. Miss Kelsey. Okay, cool. Kelsey, I just got to go to Canada for my very first time back in April. I went all the way over to Vancouver, though. It had such Twilight vibes. I don't know. I'm such a Twilight nerd. Like, I wasn't like that into the books and stuff, but there's something about just like putting that movie on in the background. And I'm only here for like the first one and then the fourth and fifth. But like, for some reason I went to Vancouver and I was like, exactly like that. I like got to go on a suspension bridge and it was like raining and it was delightful, especially coming from Arizona where there's like desert and getting to see all that green. Oh, it's beautiful. Ooh, you're in Alberta. Nice. Linda. So yes, that was my first time visiting Canada. It's very lovely. I think that was a British accent. We're not sure. We're not sure anymore. Once you've been on a live for a while, things get crazy. Things get squirrely. I love doing these little mini reads. I don't do them very often. So you are here in a special place, my friends. You're here in a special place. And if you want to learn how to read these gene keys for yourself and for your clients, make sure you go sign up for Decode Your Keys, where you can learn to read these keys in a fun, fast, easy way. And we just have a blast. There's hot seat coaching. You get like some one-to-one time. We have a really good time. I just love it. So make sure you sign up and you join us. Doesn't matter what kind of work that you do. You can infuse these gene keys in your client work and just in how you show up, and it changes everything. April 26, 1991. I also have where if you're like, hey, I don't really need to learn how to read these. I just want you to read mine. I have one-to-one readings for your business in the link in my bio. And then also I have my 3 months of private coaching, which I'm very, very excited about. So you can apply in the link in my bio for that as well. Okay. I think I've double checked it enough times. Another tea. Okay, 1536. Okay. Ooh. Oh God, you're 5'1". Oh, okay. Yay. I always have so much fun with the 5s. Okay. This just truly means, like I was speaking about earlier, that whole like getting up on your soapbox and sharing what it is that you learned. Of course, kind of like the 1-3, how I was talking about, like you go and you learn all of these things. But then for you, instead of like going and experimenting, it's like you learn these things, you cut out the, hi, Nicole, you cut out the BS. And once you cut out the BS and like you cut out all the extra fluff, you get up on your soapbox and you speak it. So it's very much learning and speaking, right? You go up there and you share what you find is really important from that thing that you learned. So like recently, I know I'm a 5'2", but like I did this in my own way, but like play with this in your brain the way that you need it. So I recently had taken a course on content and I picked up a lot of really useful things from that. But then instead of teaching it that exact same way, I was able to cut out the fluff of like what didn't need to be done and then shoot it through the lens of the gene keys and how like you could actually use your gene keys to make really incredible content. And so that was my opinion and my way of sharing this information that I had learned before. So you get to do that with anything that you learn. You get to cut out anything that you think is unnecessary and add to it what you feel is very important and that's going to like support what you teach and support like how you coach and how you show up in your business. And you get to be bold and brave and powerful with your voice. I often tell people like Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga are 5'1s. And you know that they have people that are like, yay, Team Taylor, Team Lady Gaga. And other people are like, boo, no, not for me. And that's just what it is to be a 5. So like, first and foremost, if we can just like get over it and be okay with it, like we are golden. And second, it's your opinions, your beliefs will only get stronger the more you create content and the more you put yourself out there. I've been doing a ton of learning, but I'm just learning to speak up. Girl, like I get you on such a deep level. That was literally me last year whenever I started doing this and I felt scared and I felt nervous. And I was the type that any type of like esoteric wisdom, it just made sense to me, like tarot, astrology, energy updates, like things like that. It had just made sense to me. And it like the gene keys, you know, but I wasn't turning around and like sharing it. I wasn't like using my voice. So like with that line 5, there's so much power in your voice, but I'm going to make it even simpler for you. And this goes for all my 5'1s out there. I feel like a DJ. I'm like, this goes for all my 5'1s out there. I'm getting my hyperactive feelings back again. But it's one of those things that like you get to post. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, go use this as an example. You get to post in a lickety split kind of way where other people have to like do all of this crazy content. Like I found so much wisdom through just posting through my notes app that has been so simplistic and I get to be so to the point. Go practice speaking on Twitter go practice speaking on threads. Do multiple of those a day. Like challenge yourself for a while to do like 5 of those posts a day of like the things that you believe or what people need to hear about in your industry or like how you think differently. And that is going to prep your system for these quick, like I literally throw a smoke bomb, I deliver wisdom, I throw a smoke bomb, I walk backwards. You just made your TikTok today. Oh, that's so fun. I love that. I love divination. I just started teaching myself about human design and gene keys. Like, come to the right place. Like I said, girl, if you want to learn how to read the gene keys, I am your person. I am your person. But yeah, we love human design. I like to think about them as married. Whenever we're doing this round of the Gene Key course, there's actually a business map that we're doing inside of it where I combine pieces from your human design chart and your gene keys to help point you in the right direction in business. And you can use it with your clients too. So much fun. But yeah, it's just about being bold with that voice, like really getting yourself out there. And like, there's going to be moments that you sweat. There's going to be moments that you question yourself. There's going to be moments that you post something. You're going to be like, was that too crazy? Or was that too like out there? And you just got to trust the process with this, because there's been things that I have put out there that I'm like, whoa, that was a little salty or that was a little spicy. And I just get braver and braver and braver with it every time. And I'm going to tell you what, as I'm looking at your chart right now, my friend, but get out there and do the TikTok, do your thing. Like, oh, it's so fun. Talk about the things that you love. Yeah. Okay. I'll get back to that in just a second. My little brain is moving quickly. Okay. So with your life's work, you are the 27. And I always talk about this through the lens of whenever we're on an airplane and they say, put your mask on before you put the mask on the kid next to you or the person next to you. So this is about you making sure that your cup is full more so than any of the other gene keys. This is essential for you. And it's really funny because this gets talked about in the spirituality world a lot. And it's funny that it does, because actually so many people like psychics, intuitives, even people that just do like any kind of services for other people, they have the 27 in their gene keys. They have the 27 in their human design chart. So it's really fun. And I'm doing a reading currently right now. So I'm pretty into this at this moment. I can answer questions later. So it's one of those things that whenever you are giving from a place that feels really good, that is going to be what A, attracts clients to you, and B, like, it just brings you so much more confidence and so much more fulfillment in your life. So like for me, if I hated doing these mini readings, I would be drained and I would be like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. And even I did that for a while where I would do it every single day back whenever I was like really getting started doing lives on TikToks, but like it drained me after a while. So that's why I only do it like every now and again. It's like a special thing. And like, as I'm leading up to my Gene Key course. And so people can understand what it is that they do and how it is that I teach them. I'm like, oh, I'll say that for like the week and a half before I do my thing, because that feels good to me. That doesn't feel like I'm stressing myself out with it or whatever. So like, don't fluff the pillows unless you love fluffing the pillows. Like, don't make the casserole unless you love making the casserole. Those are my 2 favorite examples. But you know what I mean? Like, you're a nurturer and you give to people, but give to people in a place that feels good. So another example, like whenever people sign up for my 1-to-1 courses, I always offer this like freebie of a 60-minute Voxer coaching session, just me and that person together. And that feels good to me. If that would like drain my energy, or if I ever come to a point in my business where I'm like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, I would stop it. But now where I'm at, I'm like, I love this. Like, this is fuel on my fire. I love seeing how people use these. And I love talking one-on-one with people in that way. Like I keep doing it. So think about your business in that way, in the sense that the more that you do the things that you love and you just keep repeating those things, the better you're going to be. And yeah, you really do take care of people. You really do help nurture them through plenty of things in life, but you also take very good care of yourself, because that's something that a lot of people in the psychic world often look over. And that's why I tell people, like, don't be like, if this resonates with you, like, you can let go of your empath cape. You don't have to hold on to like picking up everybody else's shit in the name of being intuitive, because that's not how it has to be. And my heart exploded after sharing my TikTok this morning. I love that. I'm a mom of 5 and sometimes I forget about me. Yes. And this is why it's just so important. We just need these reminders sometimes. And so, Yeah, I love that. Okay. Blah. Okay, then I wanted to get into your 31. So you have the 31 in your pearl, and this is why it's so incredibly important for you to start talking. The 31 is all about leadership, and there's a sense of like, this almost like reminds me, I think it's in the throat. It's like a little projector gate, right? So there's like an element of the projector to it as well. Brandy has this in her profile. This is her life's work. But the 31 is really this like, whenever you like believe in something and you keep putting it out there and you keep just sharing it because it feels really important to you, there eventually comes a time where people elect you as the leader of that thing. And so as the 31, like, you have to be willing to get up on that soapbox so people can then point to you and be like, you are the person for me. You are the one I want to work with. You are this shining light. And I think so many people underestimate how much time and how much like it's good to put yourself out there daily. Like I know that there's people that have been in the coaching industry or the spiritual industry for a while and they'll be like, I don't post every day. And like that's cool for them, but I'm sure that there was a time that they did. And I fully believe that I get better every single time that I post. And so I always explain that to my clients. I'm like, the more that you post, not only the more that you get seen, so you can be that person that like is top of mind for people, but also like the better you get and the more skilled you get whenever it comes to posting. And so that's not something that I think is cool to glaze over. And so as this leader, it's almost like you do really well, like being in the thick of whatever it is that you are obsessed with and that you care about, and that you continue to make content about it over and over again, because it'll be stronger and stronger, that you become a magnet for the people that need to work with you. Learning to really brand yourself. Yeah, branding yourself is huge. Like you're a leader. You're a line 5. You got to see yourself as that leader. It's really funny. A lot of people try to be like a line 5 whenever they show up for their business, just because like that's what they heard works, of like show up like a leader, show up like an expert. But as line 5s, like we just have that pass right away. We're like, we stand up, and once we speak, people listen and people stop. So see yourself as that showstopper, as this like disruptor. When you have a line 5, you're a disruptor of the status quo, and you do things differently. Like Miss Nicole, she does VA coaching and she's integrating the gene keys with it. That's disruptive to the status quo of how anybody has done VA work before. Like, yeah. And she's a 5'1" too. So just saying. All right. Thank you for letting me read for you. And we got one more. Let's see. Misty, are you still here? Thank you for letting me read for you. Yeah, go out there and do it. You are so welcome. God, I'm so excited for you and your TikToks. Like that's such a good place to be. If you ever need inspiration of like, I'm posting all the time and I don't know, like go back through my old ass TikToks, because so much changed in a year. The way that I showed up, the way that I speak on camera, so much has changed in a year. And it really is just like getting better and better and better as time goes on. Misty, if you're still here, drop your date, time, location of birth. I have no book to read tonight. Well, I have a whole bookshelf of books, but like my next book isn't coming till tomorrow. Has anybody else read Crescent City? Because I'm going to start that tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, the 1-4 is one of those things where I was speaking about the ones where this is all about information gathering and being really solid. And like you very much have a little bit more of a solitary path of like, it's you against you. And so you get to teach other people through your experience with yourself. But with that 4, you do really well whenever you come into groups, whenever you come into communities, and you leverage that side of yourself and your business, is like getting on other people's podcasts, doing lives with other people. Anything that you can do to build a community, even building memberships, is going to be really good for you, that you can bring people together. So let's see. All right. Wellington. Wellington is a fancy name. Wellington. My belly's getting a little grumbly. You're welcome. And I'm going to be doing a few more of these live gene key readings before we open up the course on September 18th. So if you are around and you want me to do a reading for you before then, I will be on a few lives doing that where we can go deeper. But let's get Misty, because Misty, I'm pretty sure, has your rainbow in her picture, if I'm seeing it correctly. That's a nice thing. I like rainbows. I feel like rainbow bright in my soul. Like that's what I feel like. But also like mixed with Stormy. Like, does anybody remember like she wasn't like the bad guy, but she was like the little rebellious friend that like lived up in the clouds with the rainstorm, and I think her horse's name was like Thunder. Yeah, I feel like I'm a mixture between Rainbow Bright and Stormy a lot of times. Like I think we all have both of those sides to us, you know what I mean? It's a double rainbow in your backyard. Oh, I love that. Rainbows are a good time. 1986, July, 3:03 a.m. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, girl. Your life's work is one of my favorite gene keys to talk about. You and I have the same attraction. Nice. Okay. Speaking of fives, I'm nervous. You don't have to be nervous. It's okay. You don't have to be nervous. It's all good. Just get ready for your life to be changed. No big deal. I know. I just do. I love everything that's in these gene key charts because it's literally transformed my life. Like I sold my lavender business. I went full pull into my online business and like hired a mentor. Like nothing has been the same since I started to use these gene keys and since I learned them. So I've seen so many people take just like little tidbits of these like free readings that I've done and like change their life and then come back to me later and be like, Stephanie, my life is transformed in this 4 months. Like we have to work together. So it really is like cool stuff that's in here. You're so welcome. You're here. This is whenever you learn this stuff, this is the precipice of greatness moment. I am a big believer of that. This is the precipice of like really using your voice whenever you come here and you hang out with me, because that has been the journey of this last year, is building my business and using my voice and using these gene keys, the things that make me different, and showing other people how to do that too. So you're in the perfect place. Okay. We were talking about line fives a few minutes ago. You are a 3-5. So this means that you are somebody that gets to go experiment and play. And then you jump up on the soapbox and you teach about it and you talk about it and you share your opinions about it. So you go out there and play, you go out there and rumble around, get your knees dirty, and then you come back and you share what's important to the rest of us and say, hey, I tripped on a rock back there. Here is a better way for you to do it. So anytime you have those hiccups in your life, trust, my friend, that those hiccups are here to make you money. You get to make money from your experiments, from the things that you play, from sucking the marrow from the bones of the things that like didn't work out, but they really do. Like, trust me. Like anything that you see that has come before you, it's like, how can I suck out the gold from the situation and teach on that again and again? So you get to get up on that soapbox. Your life's work is one of the gene keys that changed my entire life and made me have an aha moment to start teaching online. Rumble. Oh my God. Oh my God. The actual amount of rumbles. Like, see, okay, you sound like Brandy and Tangi because they both have 3s in their profile. They're human design readers over here on TikTok. So Tangi's the feel good expert and Brandy is projector guidance, Brandy Yates. They both make such funny like content around being a 3 and like just own it. They're so funny. So those are really good people to look to for it as well. But okay, this 62 that's in your life's work literally changed my entire existence last year in the best way possible because it's so big about using your voice. And in the shadow, I don't even talk about these very often, but this one's important. In the shadow of it is intellect, which means you're trying to regurgitate things perfectly or you're afraid to teach. You're afraid of not getting everything right. And so you stifle yourself. So instead of doing that thing, let's now see it as you get to let information stir and purr in your system and you share it from your heart. There is something so powerful about this 62 that I need you to know that once you start using your voice, nothing in this world will ever be the same. And so you got to get out there, you got to practice it, you got to get it like clearer and more crystal clear and more sharp. The more that you show up, the more it will happen. I promise you, because I had the 62 in my chart as well. So it was like, hey, you have an affinity for teaching things, for like making things simple for other people, for speaking from your heart, you know. But at the same time, I was like getting on lives and I was sweating my face off and I was talking to crickets and I was doing all the things. So I just had to learn to like master that time and just know I was getting better every single day that I showed up. Even when I was like, is this really working? I'd look at a live from a month later or a month before and like the difference would be mind blowing. It was the same with my TikTok videos. It was the same with my posts, how much exercising my voice changed everything. So no, your voice is very important. The way that you see things is very important because there can be 10 other people out there that are teaching about tarot or teaching about human design or teaching about fitness and wellness and health and mindset, but nobody does it your way. And like, this is us having this conversation today. Like, that's why people are drawn to certain people because we have something different to offer this world. Like I talk about gene keys in a totally different way than the gene key course and like the books, because whenever I talk about it, I open the door for so many more people to understand it than they would have if they would have just looked at the source material, because the source material sometimes is cryptic, sometimes poetic and beautiful, but complicated, right? And so I show up and I speak about it through cartoons and memes of Furbies, you know, and like, that's what makes sense to me. So you get to do that. This is your permission slip to teach in your way. Even if it hasn't been taught that way before, teach it your way because that's what pulls people into you. Okay. And then I want you to know that your attraction sphere that we share together, we both have the 15 and the attraction. This is about being like this brave heart. Like I always talk about this picture I see in my brain whenever I talk about the 15th gene key. You remember how in like cartoons when we were a kid, whenever it would talk about the earth being flat and you would see little ships falling off of the earth? I picture this 15th gene key as the mofo who goes all the way to the edge of that map where the other ships fall off, and then you turn around and you bring back the wisdom and the like from your adventure for everybody else. And this highlights your 3-5 very, very well because you like go out and experience and you're crazy and you're bold and you saw the mermaids, you saw the narwhals, like you fought the skeletons, like the very imagery in my brain. Like a pirate lore story. But you like done all those things and you come back to the land and you tell all of us of your adventures. And like, if I were to go on that trip again, I would not do this, but I would do that. And so that is like your strength and your superpower is your boldness, is your wildness. So I often talk about how I moved across the country. I was a BMW saleswoman and I was selling cars, and I moved across the country to help my dad with his lavender farm. Didn't know what lavender smelled like. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I like wasn't one of those people that like knew what a lot of essential oils smelled like. I had to go buy a bottle of lavender oil, and I moved across the country within 3 months of like my dad telling me like, hey, do you want to start a product line from scratch? Thank you. That's so nice. I appreciate this. But this is like why like I'm sharing this, because this is why it's so important that you share your things, right? Because that's going to draw people into you. So I tell people, I'm like, I started a company from scratch, and then I ran that company having no idea how to run a company, having no idea how to do a like farmer's market and online marketing, having no idea how to make products from scratch, learned it all, and then sold that company back in December. And then went full pull into my business, into my online business and teaching these gene keys. I was a psychic medium and I talked to people that crossed over. Like I share those things because me sharing those, A, I'm like sharing a part of myself, but B, like people are drawn into the things that I had thought before were too crazy, or the things that I thought made me reckless, or the things that I thought made me like unworthy of having success because I was too wild. No, those are the things that pull people into you. So being willing, and this is really important with the 3-5. I need you to know, do not focus on the struggle. The struggle is one part of what you create in your TikTok, in your posts. It's this was the problem. The rest is solution. Here's how I fixed it. Here's how I changed it. Here's how I see this now. And that is going to make you one powerful, I almost said MFer. Like I like literally am feeling it right now. Like that's going to make you powerful. So a lot of times the 3s can get stuck in the ooey gooey, here's the problem. No, your problem is one line, 2 lines max, and then everything else is your solution. What you've learned from that thing. Yeah, I will take motherfucker. So funny. So yeah, be willing to share the things that you thought were too wild, but share it in a way that you're sharing it from that leadership point of view, that you're up on the soapbox. I've already healed it. I've already completed it. I've already fixed myself. I've learned. I'm good. I can share this now. That is what you do. So you're a 3-5, you go experiment, then you get up on your soapbox, experiment, then soapbox, and then you get to speak things in your own verbiage, in your way of saying it, teaching things you don't need to teach straight from the book. You don't need to teach straight from a course that you learned. You get to say it in your own way with your own beliefs, and then bring in the things from your past and the things that you do now. So like I even talk to a lot of people, I'll tell people, I'm like, hey, I didn't like really invest in many courses before I jumped into a $15,000 investment with a 6-month business coach. Like that was one of my things with my 15th gene key that I share with people. And that made me feel a little like crazy, a little reckless, but like it changed my life. You know what I mean? Like it changed my life. And then I ended up selling my company and making that money back. So when I did not expect it. So we really are like the masters of the leaps of faith, but there is something of like who you become on the other side of that leap of faith. I used to think that it was just the magic of the leap. That was all that you needed. But no, what I learned is like who I had to become, like the person that I had to like start showing up as in my business. Like after I made that investment, and also like organizing my business in a way that I was like ready to sell it. It was ready to go before I even knew who was going to buy it. So like I became a different person. I became a different business owner on the other side of that investment. But like that investment held me accountable. You know what I mean? So I love to share like those stories for people. So inspiring. I'm glad you're on my FYP. Oh, I'm so glad you were here today too, Misty. Take this information, whoever is listening, you go run with whatever you need from this. Like I am not the end all be all of all of these gene keys or human design, but I'm here if this is the way that you like to learn. Like if you like to learn it in a fun way, like if there are moments of this that even if there's a key in your chart or not, it doesn't matter. Like you know the truth. You are the compass of your own life and you can take what you need. You can differentiate the rest. Like you can sort through it and take everything with a grain of salt, take what you need and run with it in your business. And so I am so glad each and every one of you were able to be here today and hang out with me. I'm going to be doing a few more of these like mini reads before the Gene Key course opens up on September 18th. Whenever you sign up though, you actually get access to round 1. So you get entered into the Facebook group and there's like 4 or 5 different pre-recorded classes in there where you get to learn all about the lines of the gene keys in every single different sphere. And then we'll be going over the 64 gene keys. We'll be talking about a human design and gene key business map and hot seat coaching, as well as a really fun little like one-to-one spotlight with you whenever you sign up for the Decode Your Keys course. So make sure you get in there. I cannot wait. We have people from all different kinds of businesses who have joined the first round, the second round. It's really cool stuff. So you can apply it whatever you do. It really helps you with understanding yourself and how you present yourself online, how you show up, how you post, how you write emails, how you make TikToks. But not only that, but like it helps you immensely in your client work because you just get to the heart of the matter. You really get to like what makes them sparkle and shine. And A, that makes people feel really good and feel really confident. But B, like, why not show up with your superpowers and your strengths? So we got that. We have my my one-to-one readings if you just want to get your full gene key chart, where I give you a written report and we sit down, we talk for like an hour and I give you your full gene keys. That's in there as well. Or I have 3 months of one-to-one private coaching where we incorporate all of the good stuff. You get access to all of my courses. You get access to, you get access to all the courses. You get, human design, gene key inspiration. You get me as a partner with your business, where I just help you through intuitive guidance and wisdom. Like, I have the 30-second gene key, and that's called the Success Oracle. And I just know whenever I speak to people, I can feel it in my bones what makes them successful. It's almost like you could say a whole paragraph to me and I know one sentence, and it's almost like the little scarf with the magician where I just keep pulling and pulling. And so pointing you in the right direction, helping you get really good with like discipline and taking action in your business and all of those things. So I'm like the cool business coach. I'm like the fun business coach, not your normal business coach. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope that you have the most beautiful time. Oh my gosh, Nicole, you were on both. I totally forgot I even had YouTube going, to be honest with you. I'm crazy. All right. Love you. Make sure you go follow over on Instagram as well. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye, Misty. Oh my gosh, I'm such a dork. I totally forgot I had YouTube going on over here, but I love you and I'm glad that you're here. And I'm so happy that I can jump on and do these things, but make sure you go sign up for Decode Your Keys, and you're going to be blown away by the things that you learn from these keys, because it really does show you what makes you different, what makes you an absolute unicorn, what makes you an absolute genius in business. And when you show up with that energy, everything changes. So